Hello again, this is Priscilla Batzell. This is part 2, Unexpectedly. This is my digital rendering of what I want to do to a canvas that's over there, that I'll bring over in a minute, that's a 16 by 20, that maybe you just watched part 1 of. So I'm going to take this out of here, and refocus down below, and leave this where I can see it, because that had flowers on it, and maybe I'll just show you quickly. This is really pretty, and I like it the way it is, but I like it so much more with the flowers, it's not even funny. So I've got a pan, and I've got my colors picked out, mostly. I've got my Fandango, which is going to be my major go-to for my foliage. And I want to scoop up my foliage, so I want to use all my greens, and this is from the new Primary Elements, oh gosh, Autumn Moon. This is called Fresh Pine. And I definitely need enough of everything. This is triple sec. This is a Prizm pour. This is from the Tropical Waters Deserted Island. And if I have greens left over, I may have to do something else with them. This is an old standby that I'd like to add for contrast. This is a Royal Sapphire. Whoa, sans that big lump of something that just needs to go away now. See, yeah, big lump of something. It's probably a Floetrol thread. I've got a little bit of deep amethyst. I always like to put some purples in with the greens. Oh, I've got a little wild orchid, which I find irresistible. So I'm going to add some of that. Oh yeah, no, that's gorgeous. I'm probably going to finish up after I put this Prizm pour, and so is the wild orchid, was a Prizm pour. This is Wintergreen. It's a Prizm pour. And try and put that where my greens should go. Stay a little organized. I have a bitter lime, which is from the most recent Harvest Moon set. I'm just having one squirt of everything, and that seems to be working. I do have another color that's left over. It was Wintergreen, Royal Sapphire, and Midnight Shadow, all Prizm pours. I'm liking my paint pan, it's beautiful. And then I'm just going to hit it one last time with the Fandango, which is a Prizm pour. And then my other colors that I have standing by are for the flower portion of this. I hope I don't have too many choices, and I'm pretty sure I do. So I brought an acetate lid so that I can cover that up if there's extra, because I imagine that I may not be able to use all of it. I'm going to pull this around. One more look for you. Probably wasn't long enough. Pull this around. Grab my shovel from the dollar store. You can probably use almost anything. I was going to say the silicone hair tools would work. A palette knife of a certain size would work. My spatulas will work. It might take a little longer than a shovel. The shovel is great. Because I can make long, skinny tendrils. They're great for making tree branches too. And I don't know if I've ever tried to make such skinny, long, skinny things, but it's the first time for everything. Let's go the other way up. And I can always go back the next day if I want to. Not that I can save the paint, but I might be able to. And I don't think there's anything difficult about this except for making sure your lines aren't too fat, which might be hard if you're not quick. Once the paint starts to be deposited, you got to move along and discern how fast to go. How many strands do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we'll go for as close to that as we can. And I might leave some partials up here so I can put some flowers in between. And I'm going to do blooms, I've decided. But I've also got a dipstick over here. So if I put some colors in and make a little V shape, that might be happening also. So if you get too much paint in your shovel, you're going to want to do what I just did and tip your shovel back. Yeah, that was unprofessional of me. I'm quiet because I'm focused and I'd like to get this right. I'm liking how the foliage is looking though. I'm taking chances by crossing over, but I think it looks good. So foliage, stems, whatever you want to call them. I haven't really put any foliage on yet, it's mostly stems. I'm getting to the point where I think I'm almost done with this stage. If you're running out of paint in your shovel, you can pick it up and put it down and wait a second and it'll deposit some paint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My phone just shut itself off. But for right now, I don't need it anyway. Let's bring it back on so I can have some lights. Yeah, the fatter parts look like the foliage now. So that's not working against me at all. I'm going to go for one right down through. If I'm fairly quick, I won't drag so much paint. I'm going for up here. I'm going to dip it in again. I like the curves, adding curved ones. And then if you rest it next to a stem, you can automatically have a leaf shape. And you can widen it if you want to. Alright, I may have already gone overboard, but I think it'll be alright. Let's get this pan of colors out of here. Put my lid on it. Throw my shovel in the bucket right after I get the paint out of it. And I can pick up another shovel. I have a bunch of them. So now where to start? I'm going to start with the most obnoxious color, which is Miami Magenta. It's a Prizm pour. And I'm kind of thinking I want to experiment, so let's put some Rapsody Rose in there. It might be bigger than I imagined I was going to go. I want something light blue. I want to at least try and start like I made my sketch. I don't know that I'm going to put any dots in, but I don't know that I'm not either. Alright, so let's grab some cell activator, and in this case, I think I'm going to let it be the dioxazine purple and the white. Okay. I seem to have some white. It doesn't seem to want to come out. Okay, let's grab something that we know will come out very cautiously. And then if this works, I'll probably be wanting to put a whole, whoa, that was a lot. Put a whole lot of colors down at once. I'm going to use a straw this time. Well, they're not as round. And I have a little stick, and that's a good thing because I want that line out of there, and I want to swirl the center. And I don't mind the petal shapes on the edges, but it's a little rough in some places and not in others, and I kind of like to make it look at least the same on half. Okay, let's find some other... Come on, paint chip, come off my finger. Let's find some other colors. I've got some orange crush with a little... Excuse me, I've got sour lemon with a little bit of orange crush. And that's a Prizm pour, and so is this saffron, which I would like to come out. Why are you not? You should be. You're not plugged. You are plugged. Okay, that's not coming out easily, but I can get something, I think. I'm stubborn like that. I've got another saffron over here. And it will work. Oh, I'm liking that flower. I was going to blow it out without anything, but I think I'm not. I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the black. Ah, that's 3 drops. That's... I'm having a hard time with my flowers today, but I like the shape. I think I'm going to try some Tuscan Sun as long as I got it out. Yep. I guess they don't all need to be the same by any stretch of the imagination, so I need to get over my bad self. That's the Tuscan Sun. It's a Prizm pour. And I like how the orange looked with the black, so I'm going to try that again. I hope I don't leave any bottles in the way. Boy, that comes out really fast. After I get about 5 of these in place, I'm thinking it might be nice to move some of that out. Make a small adjustment. It does look like petals flowing in the wind, so I'm not unhappy with that. I might add some of the stick flowers. This is the Miami Magenta again, which I might be sorry about. I'm going to throw some Plum Blossom in there, which is a frosted sorbets combination, or a frosted sorbets from the primary elements, I should say. And I want to try a little dot of this Rapsody Rose, and I want to get that paint chip out of my painting. I kind of want to put some paint into a little dish, even if it was this little dish, and use a paintball to drip something into here so I have less. Come on. Come on, down you go. Okay, that's not working at all. That's another one I'm thinking I'm going to put a spiral in my center. I'm very tempted to use some gold. I like that Rapsody Rose. Makes me want to start with it and see where I go from there. Rapsody Rose. Let's do the same colors in a different combination with the Miami Magenta and the Plum Blossom. Tempted to try and put a little dot of the saffron in the center. Boy, I'm kind of liking the odd effect, the odd shapes. I'm really tempted. I still have some precious gold left. P.E.o. precious iridescent gold. Okay, I didn't expect this to be quite this long, so I apologize, but we are getting somewhere, and I will give it my best shot for the next 3 minutes, and when that's up, then it's time to try something else, like saying goodbye, and it won't be done in this particular video, but it'll be done, because making a part 3 isn't in my plan. This is Indigo Violet, Prizm Pour. This is Icy Iris from the Frosted Sorbets. This is the Dioxazine Purple with Aussie Floetrol and the white. And I want some of that Rapsody red in there. Rapsody Rose, excuse me. And a little bit of that gold. I forget the canvas is dry and I can wipe up whatever I want, which is kind of a nice thing. Alright, let's try and get some of the other colors. I want something orange though. Something really orange. Right over here. I have a Cupid's Crush, which is a primary element. I'm hoping it's open. And I think maybe I'm going to indulge in, nope, grab the wrong bottle, a little tiny dot of the Miami Magenta. And I'm going to stick with the gold. Cell Activator. That's much closer to what I had in mind. And I've got a black center. Which just reminds me of being of a poppy. Now before I run out of time, I'm going to take, oh, too late. I got 1 minute left, and if I put flowers in the wedge shape, they're just going to get dotted in. So that'll be interesting for you to see on the thumbnail, because I can't tell you what's going to happen next. I'll make a video. I'll just make it private or unlisted so you can find the link below this one. So I love you guys, and I really want to just keep working. So maybe one more flower in here, and I want to use the blue velvet and the plum blossom, and I'm completely smitten with that Rapsody rose that I keep calling red. I'll see you guys anon. Bye for now. Priscilla out. I love you all. Come again. Hopefully you saw all the connections you need for the link tree and everything.